Right, okay. Right, so first thing that they've done is that. And I'm like, what does that mean? Okay. How long have you had heavy breathing for?
About a year.
For about a
About
year?
a year.
All right, okay.
Mm.
Right, and have you seen a doctor? No, okay, so you should see a doctor. All right.
She has been.
Oh, she has been,
Yeah,
that's
she's
cool.
been.
But they've not given you any answers.
Well, she's had nasal spray, asthma pump, but it's not asthma.
It's not fixing.
Breathes very heavy and uncomfortable.
Yeah, all right.
Mm.
Now, Spirit have done that to my feet. As in, they've lifted my legs and they've made my legs go quite rigid. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? What does that mean? And I don't know. Oh, maybe I do. Let's go back. This has been about a year. Go back a little bit before then. Was there somebody in the family that died just before this breathing became a problem for you? A death in the family?
Yes.
Did that person have problems with their breathing?
I suppose you think she did. Many. See?
Okay, because I'm just because this stiff legs could indicate somebody in spirit world that's died, stiff body kind of thing, which is interesting. Okay, now if it is that, if that's who in your space causing this, no amount of inhalers. Oh, this is going to be interesting. It'd be interesting if I levitate out the chair, you're not all going to run out on it. All right. So, so would she be your grandmother or your great grandmother? Your nan. Okay. Were you really close to her? You had a special place in her heart. So it would make sense that she'd be with you. Wouldn't want to leave you. All right. Okay. So just close your eyes. Cool. And now if you're there, you're going to need to give us a sign. And the sign that I'm asking for is this. Yeah, make the sign stronger now. That's it. You can feel that, can't you? She's even nodding your head. Yeah. All right. So, how long have you been with Boogie? Boogie? Have I got that right? Yeah. How long have you been with her? Since she passed? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Is it you causing the problem with the breathing? The feeling I've got from the spirit is, oh hell, am I doing that? Is that me? She's just starting to realise that she might be affecting your breathing. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I just want you to move out of her space just for a few minutes so we can see if you are causing the breathing. Nan might not be causing the breathing. Nan might be here to try and help fix the breathing. But I suspect Nan's presence here is what's causing the problem. Cool. Now she's moved slightly to one side. Now how's your breathing feeling? She sounds, I can't hear the breathing now, can you? Is that feeling good for you? Wow. Could it be that simple, eh? That's feeling pretty good, isn't it? Alright, so Nan's with you. And you needed to know beyond any shadow of doubt that she'd always be with you. Yeah? Cool. Now you have got a problem separately with your sinuses. Alright, sinuses is inner crying. Alright, so what happens is when you get upset, you don't let them come out your eyes. They like run down the back of your throat, which will give you a bit of a cough at times. Yeah? So crying is good. Crying is good. I want everybody to say that. Crying is good. You were conditioned to not cry because you were told it was bad to cry. People would call you a crybaby if you cried. You were taught not to show your feelings. And then you go into a relationship and you expect the other person to know how you feel, but you don't show your feelings. How crazy is that? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yes, so we need to encourage children to feel their feelings and find the words to express how they're feeling. Now, where we go wrong expressing our feelings is we say, you make me so cross. No, they don't. Your judgment of their behaviour is what makes you so cross. You upset me when you do that. No. You get upset when you judge their behaviour in a way that makes you upset. Alright? So nobody can make us feel a certain way. It's our judgment, it's what we do making them wrong that makes us feel a certain way. If you don't make anybody wrong, you can be happy. It's that simple. So if you make nothing wrong in your life, no people, no situations wrong, you will be so happy it's not funny. So stop making things wrong in your life. Stop making that little man in charge of America wrong. Did I know you were doing that? No. We've got to stop making things wrong, and then we can be happy. It's that simple. Now notice how your chest feels as you think about not making things wrong. Can you feel that feels lighter? So your job, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to not make anything wrong. So now, we don't want to do a negative. So if I say don't think about the huge spider that's under your chair, your brain will go to the huge spider I've told you not to think about. So we need to change it into a positive. And what we're going to do, and this is for everybody, if you want to do this one, you just say yes to whatever is. Whatever's showing up in your life, you say yes. Instant coffee, yes. No coffee, yes. They haven't got the herbal tea you like. Yes, I'm so glad I'm going to have the opportunity to try a different variety. Yeah, a parking ticket, yes. Yeah, so you're going to start saying yes to whatever is. You're going to be a lot happier. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes! 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 Cool. Cool. Now there's still some work going on. Your nan has a bit of a sense of humour. She does have a sense of humour. Very, very important though that your nan is respected. Heaven help anybody who didn't respect her. You make sense of that? Alright. Now the one thing she's saying to you, if she could tell you anything, apart from of course the fact that she worships you and loves you, is she wants you to think about a question, okay? And it's this. If you really truly respected yourself, if you really truly respected yourself, what would you do? What would you stop doing? What would you start doing? This is a good question for all of you guys, and I'm just thinking, oh, I'm going to work with that one as well. If you truly, truly respected yourself, what would you stop doing? What would you start doing? What would you do more of? What would you do less of? If you truly, truly respected yourself, she just wants you to think about that, because you held her in the highest respect. You could have a laugh with her, but underneath that humour there was always respect there, yeah? Yeah? And if you can respect yourself like you respected her, it's going to change your life. Yeah? You should have got some answers to that now. Now, what does happen in our life is the more we respect ourselves, the more others respect us. That's what happens, that's how it works. Yeah? I'm going to talk about something and I'm like, it's not relevant to you, it's relevant to the wider world. This is an idea. Alright, this is just an idea and I just want to see what happens within you as I talk about this idea. When we are in a relationship with another person, now, in my day growing up, I was encouraged not to have sex before marriage. That's what I was encouraged to do. I was encouraged to date somebody for a length of time and wait till there was a ring on my finger. Well, I liked sex too much. I didn't wait until there was a ring on my finger, but I would typically wait 6 months in a relationship to find out if I like the person, if they like me. Now, if somebody is committed to you for 6 months, when you then have an intimate relationship with them, one of the things that can happen, I better explain, is that if you go straight into a physical relationship with somebody and there are problems in that relationship, those problems get masked because you're having great sex. Yeah? But if you're in a relationship with somebody for 6 months and there's no sex, and I'm not saying that the 6 months is the absolute, that's what you should do, I'm just talking about my life experience. You've invested 6 months of talking, listening, being with that person, finding out if you've got the same values. And then the physical side of the relationship is a bonus, yeah? And you're less likely to then not ring the person after you've been intimate with them because you've already invested 6 months in that with that person. Yeah? Now, why am I talking about that now? Because it seems completely random with your healing. But it's to do with your grandma, your nana, and it's to do with her view about sex and marriage. All right. Now, if we don't value ourselves, a partner will never ever value us. Yeah? How your partner treats you is a reflection of how you are towards yourself. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah. So, don't try and fix your partners. Fix yourselves. Yeah? And as your treatment of yourself changes, the way your partner treats you will be different as well. Now, we're just going to use some sound to really work on those lungs and on the sinuses. So your responsibility is to yourself. I love it how as we go through the evening, they sort of all link back together. Your responsibility is to yourself. Earlier we were talking about, you're responsible for your own happiness, not for anybody else's happiness. But your responsibility is to look after this body. It's your responsibility. Most of you look after your cars better than you do your bodies. Yeah, you can change your car. You can't change your body. So you need to look after your body. What does it mean to look after your body? Firstly, you've got to listen to your body. When it's thirsty, you need to drink. When you're hungry, you need to eat. When you're tired, you need to sleep. Yeah? When you need a massage, go get a massage. Yeah? You've got to just pay attention to what your body's telling you. If you do that, it's very, very simple. Your body will be in better shape. But if you are running like a rat on a wheel, making yourself get out of bed when you don't feel like getting out of bed, because you do that on a regular basis, my feeling is your sleep patterns are totally disturbed. Yeah? But as a general rule, we need to go to bed. Our grandparents used to, not grandparents, great-grandparents, went to bed as the sun set and got up as the sun rose. And we need to get our bedtime closer to that. I mean, it's difficult in our world, isn't it? You're not going to be, you'd all gone to bed about 4 hours ago, But we need to get ourselves closer to that. And when you wake up in the morning, you need light. You need light. You don't want to go around with your eyes half closed, feeling like I'm knackered. You need to actually get sunlight into your body to wake up your system, yeah? Right, let's just check in. How are you feeling? Pretty good, eh? How's that breathing? Yeah, a lot better, eh? We've still got some work to do with this inner crying, yeah? But other than that, that's a pretty good start. Awesome. Give a round of applause.